Hey everybody, welcome back to the Hobby Lodge, and in this video I'm going to talk about our day out at Salute 2025 at the London Hotel. So sit back and relax and what is Salute? Well, it is the largest wargaming event in the UK and I think also in Europe. And I differentiate wargaming away from board gaming because obviously there is a UK Games Expo and also Essen in Germany. Where Salute is very much focused on tabletop wargaming. So where you're battling out in some scenario, throwing dice at each other, having an army of some description, whether that's small characters, maybe 5 miniatures or hundreds of miniatures, but you're battling out on a tabletop using wargaming rules rather than playing on a board game. Not to say there aren't some board games there are, but they're very much in the lesser extent compared to the wargaming stuff. So yeah, a really cool event. Definitely something you could take your family to. There's loads of opportunities to play games, see vendors, see game creators showing off their latest and greatest new games, seeing games played well, as in someone who's put loads of time and effort into a huge terrain board, really nicely painted miniatures, showing the games at their best in the hope to inspire you to potentially go and do some of that yourself. And buy a box of models, buy some paints, buy some tufts of grass, go and build a building out of scratch build or 3D print or whatever it might be. But the point is, go there, see if you have a flavour, a taste for wargaming, and then hopefully get involved. I think it was £18 a ticket to go. Children, I think under the age of 16, go for free. It takes place in the London Excel exhibit centre, and it's on for 1 day. So it is an event that you have to, go there, get it done in the day, because there is no second day, unlike something like Adepticon, which was over 4 days. So yes, could it be longer? Of course, we'd all love it to be. Could it be bigger? Of course, we'd all love it to be. But this is all put on by gaming communities, gaming club, the South London Warlord games community put all of this stuff on. They talk to all these vendors, they arrange everything. So the effort that goes in is quite significant, and I don't think we'll ever quite understand. Probably the planning for the next one happens the day this one finishes. So yeah, they always do a fantastic job of bringing everyone together, a great show, and yeah, I have nothing bad to say about it really. Of course, this one felt a little bit different for us. We've just come back from Adepticon. Adepticon was something that we'd dreamed about going to, and it only happened 2 weeks ago. So we're still high on the buzz from Adepticon. So going to Salute this year felt a bit weird for us because, we had seen this big show in the US. But without a doubt, normally Salute is the highlight of the year in the wargaming calendar for me and my boys when we go. So yeah, I thought in this video I would show you some video footage of what we saw, some pictures, some video, whilst talking about what went on, and also show you the swag that we picked up. So I might as well jump into that first. What's really nice is that when you're in the queue, and you're sort of going through and you're picking up your tickets, although your tickets are on your phone, they just scan them to check they are. You also get a swag bag, which you don't get at Adepticon, don't get at UK Games Expo, I want to say, although I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure you don't. And in that, they actually have a full colour magazine, which has, and you should definitely check your magazine when you get it, because in there is often voucher codes or come here and pick up a free miniature or all sorts of things. And even, which is really nice to have, if there's something specific you're looking for, then there is, as you can see, a full map of the whole place. So you can look up whatever game or vendor you're looking to see and go and see that, because as you saw from that, there are hundreds of stalls. It's quite big. Again, I said this before in my previous video, Adepticon's hall is probably, the vendor hall is probably half the size. So yeah, it's pretty significant. So have your walking boots on for this one for definite, because you're gonna need them. But yeah, some great, all the classics are there. Your TT Combats, your Warlords, your Element games, your Wayland games, but then every other store is also a small independent, you know, maybe they've got a small miniature set or a small rule set, or they're into 3D printing, or they've got a new paint gadget that they want to show you, or they're, you know, we really liked the kit bash section, the kit bash corner, I think it was called. It was awesome. Just these artists who have, you know, put together fantastic looking miniatures and created some really unique things just through their own talent, and they've got an opportunity to go there and show these things off. Of course, also the painting competition, so people who submit amazingly painted miniatures to be judged, and hopefully they win a prize. You know, they go home with the gold, whatever it is. For the last couple of years, there's also been a presentation area. So this is where they will have talks, which wasn't always the case in the early days of Salute. This didn't exist, and it now does. They'll have, you know, again, legendary painters, legendary miniature makers, game makers, even obviously YouTubers in this day and age, influencers as they are known, talking about their place in the hobby and what they're up to and their experiences. So if you want to be, you know, want to put your feet up for a little bit and want to take a rest, which you may well want to do, you can go there and listen to one of the talks. So that's really nice, and they're all free. Most of the time you can just walk up and sit down. You know, some of them are a little bit busy, so you might have to stand up at the back, but if you got there a little bit early, you can sit down, no problem. And there's no ticket, there's no cost to go and see these things, so you should definitely go and do it. So yeah, not only do you get your magazine in your little swag bag, you also get some genuine actual swag. So this year, you get, let me just find it all here, the Salute miniature. So every year they will do a Salute miniature. This year it is a British soldier, and I think they actually do tell you who it is in the first page. So I'll show it first of all. I'll try and get the camera to zoom in, and it probably won't because it doesn't like looking at you, not trying to focus in on my face, but it is a British infantry soldier. I will show you in the magazine. Like, I'll show you the painted version because that's much nicer. So it's painting Lieutenant Colonel James McDonnell. There he is there. Right there. Hopefully I... So not only do you get the miniature, but in the magazine, there's also instructions in how to paint him, if you want to do. I do always paint them. I paint them every year, and I put them in a little cabinet in the house to show the miniatures over the years. It's a nice thing to do. So yeah, we have Lieutenant Colonel McDonnell this year as the Salute miniature. Now there was actually a second miniature in there, and I can't find anything out about this one. So if anyone does know what this miniature is, I'd love to know in the comments below. That's really helpful if you went to Salute and have this miniature. But it is a little resin printed dwarf character, and he has a crossbow on his back and quite a hefty broadsword on his hand there. It's quite a nice little miniature, great for your little D&D campaigns or proxied in or something as a hero. I mean, he's 28mm pretty much. He'd proxy in quite nicely in most little games. So yeah, but there's no card, and there's no indication of what he's from. So there were quite a few. I mean, I think that's one of the things that Salute now is there's more and more, actually in all wargaming events, more and more representation by artists who just 3D print things now. And you're either buying STLs or you're buying, you know, them resin printed miniatures. And that's not to say that all miniatures come in some way that form, but I just mean that they seem to represent more the 3D printing side of things than anything else. So yeah, that's the stuff that came in there. Of course, you get some dice. So funny enough, I can't show you the actual Salute dice. It's a white dice this year, but we ended up with a whole mug of dice. So this year we went and picked up the Salute 52 mug. And one of the things you could do, which Clark loved, Clark being 10, you could fill your mug with dice. So he took great pleasure in trying to fit as many D6 dice into this mug as possible. And I've already dropped a few, which has happened a number of times now. But I have dug out the 52 dice, which is, this is the actual official Salute dice for this year. There's always a dice every year. And might have the one year. Yeah, there's the 51 dice from last year. So yeah, you could just take your mug and fill it up with dice. Now the mug's 10 quid, but I must have 40 plus dice in here. So I think you've paid £5 for the dice and £5 for the mug. I think that's a pretty good bargain, and I'm very happy with that. So yes, next up in the bag, you got a lovely little dice tray. So you must have seen these before. These are like the neoprene dice trays that come flat, so you can stick them in your bag easy or wherever it is you're doing. And then you basically, all of the corners together. Actually have a load of these. Dead handy. Flip your corners together, and then you get a dice tray. Then you simply roll your dice in your dice tray, and they don't go everywhere. So yeah. There we go, a nice little dice tray in your thing. So that was that. You also got a sprue. Now I'm trying to see who this sprue's from. I want to say, actually I'm not going to say anything because I don't know. It's zombiesmith.com is the company I can see on there. But they are almost like World War II, but fantasy miniatures. You know, they've got these very strange heads. He's like almost like wombles or something heads. Going to be saying very someone's going to be quite funny about what these are, but they are QUAR Hofty Trans, and they are zombiesmith.com miniatures. So yeah, I haven't got my glasses on, so I'm taking a guess at what that says, but yeah. Little sprue of miniatures, something fun to put together. Maybe try out test paints on or whatever, and do more investigation and find out what game it's connected to, and take a look at the game as well. That's kind of what it's there for, to kind of tease you with something. So yeah, so you got your dice, you got your few miniatures, your little dice tray. I think some of the bags there are opportunities to win extra stuff. I heard rumor of some gold dice. I don't know anyone who won a gold. And I think there might have been some other bits as well. So another thing I wanted to go. Oh, I forgot this. This was from War Mag. This was also in the bag, so you didn't pay any money for everything I've just shown you so far, apart from the mug. Didn't pay any money. And this is just a sample of how to magnetize your miniatures. So a lot of people will buy foam cases, or they just put their their miniatures in a shoebox or something. Maybe put some padding in there and hope for the best. A big trend of recent years has been to magnetize your bottom of your miniatures, and then have like a tray or something that you then magnetize them all to. And that way you can tip the tray upside down, and that miniature isn't going anywhere. It's going to be stuck. And not only does it create a bit of space, it also means that if they get knocked about a bit, or maybe even drop the case. I don't know how strong they are. They feel pretty strong. You're not gonna your miniature isn't gonna fall off. It's not gonna smash an arm off or break a wing or ruin your really nice paint job. Rather than sticking it in foam, you're sticking it on these magnetized bases. So this company here does full trays where you can buy all the magnetic sheet metal to put in the bottom of your cases or whatever it is you're making. They were giving away, by the looks of it, a little sample of their product. So you've got one magnet here to stick in the bottom of your base, and a piece of the magnetic sort of sheet below. So I am going to look into that, because we did take miniatures to Adepticon in the US. We took army bags. I ended up with a broken sword on a couple of miniatures and a couple of broken arms. James, I think, lost a couple of bits and pieces as well. Nothing that wasn't repairable, but all the pros magnetized their bases, it would seem. So there's definitely something in doing this. So if you're going down that road, maybe take a look at War Mag and what they do. Right, I'll get into some other pickups whilst we're sort of going through. Oh, of course, yeah, sorry, I forgot this as well. So many bits in the free bag. There was this little book. So this is called Troika. How do you pronounce it? Troika? And it is a full little tabletop RPG. So it's got all the rules you need to play a little game. Written by Daniel Sell, a complete tabletop role-playing game. So a complete full rule book using some miniatures. It will tell you everything you need to know, the background of the game, the different characters you can have, dice rolling, the rules, everything's in here. The weapons you can look what you have on there. So yeah, you just got a nice little rule book. Try out a game. think you might want to hopefully follow that and see if there's something you want to play in the future. Right, now I will get into some actual pickup apart from the mug. Now, we didn't go crazy, so don't expect to see a whole ton of stuff, because frankly we just got back from Adepticon, which if you haven't seen that video, I'll try and flash it up, maybe up here somewhere, and you can go and watch that one. That's where we did go a bit crazy. It was in the US. We wanted to buy loads of things. So here I wasn't really looking for anything kind of too crazy, but we did pick up some bits and pieces, but they're not that exciting. The first thing we picked up is just something I need. I'm building a whole bunch more of Grey Knights and a whole bunch more Necrons. I just built the Silent King the other day, and a bunch of other things, so I needed some sprays. These are always handy to pick up, which is the Chaos Black from Games Workshop and the Lead Belcher. I've actually run out of both of these. These are the last time I'm going to buy Games Workshop. It's just because I want uniformity with what I've already sprayed. But in future, I am going to look into the other brands, because I know you can get quality sprays at less pricing. These aren't cheap for tins of spray. They're like, I think, 13 or 14 pound pin, which doesn't need to be that strong. I mean, I would use the airbrush, but only because I've got quite a lot that I need to spray. If it's 1s and 2s and 3 models, I'll always use my airbrush with my Badger primers. Works perfectly fine, gives me the exact results I want. Only because I've got a whole bunch of stuff I want to spray that I'm going to use the actual rattle cans to do so. So just a couple of tins of spray. We then went past Gamer Grass. Now, Gamer Grass actually had a really cool stall, because they were doing free tutorials on base making, which I thought was really nice, because everyone focuses on the miniatures, and you can go and do, the Duncan Rhodes too thin coats test. You can go and do the Army Painter Fanatics test. You can go and do all those. You can test all the paints everywhere, and the AK. I didn't get a chance to, but I really wanted to test out the AK pens. Painting with a pen. That sounds really cool. So those are something I do want to check out in the future. But these were purely focused on basing, and you could sit down, get a free couple of bases. You get to use all of the various products, and they showed you how to make some really nice looking bases. I've been using these guys for a long time anyway, so I did need to get some more tufts, and specifically I wanted to get these ones, which are my favorite, and these are the Alien Neons. So yeah, you can tell why I like these, given the retro colors. The blues and the pinks look really cool. So I use these on all sorts of miniatures, not only my 40k but my Moonstone as well. I just love the way they just pop out. They just look fantastic. And of course, to go with them, I also have the Alien Blue. I kind of mix and match these together to kind of make the environment. But I also looked at others whilst I was there, and I really like these ones. I like the Alien Toxic as well. Again, very vibrant colours. Thought these might be cool for some Necron-ish, even though they live on a machine world. Maybe signs of life creeping through. And then these ones, which were, I didn't realise that these are all alien, but I guess that's a theme I'm really liking. This is Alien Frost. So they start off blue, and then they get a nice white tip to them, so they look quite cool. So I just like the looks of those ones, so I thought I'll add them. I'll always use them. So camera's gone out of focus. There we go. Does that. So yeah, that was that. We picked up that, and then the big purchase of the day was, I'm just trying to think if I've forgotten anything at the moment, but I haven't. But we'll go through the big purchase and see if anything pops into my head. Was I want to play more games with my youngest son. So James, my oldest son, massively into 40k, and also Moonstone and all of that good stuff. No problems there whatsoever. He'll play games all day. But with Clark being younger, my middle son's also into gaming, but other bits and pieces. But with Clark, he's my youngest son. Trying to get him that inspired. He's 10 years old, so you're looking for that thing that sparks his imagination, gets him involved. And he saw this game and was instantly in love with it, and asked Dad, "Can we?" Of course, I couldn't refuse. And this game was new. I hadn't seen this game anywhere before. Yeah, I don't know how long it's been around, but it is called Zune Talis. So there we go, Zune Talis, and it says there Zune Talis Battle Royale. So it's pretty cute. It's it's cute little animals, but then with a thirst for blood. Yes, Feisty Foxes and Raging Rabbits starter set. Now, you might think, well, I might not like Feisty Foxes and Raging Rabbits. Well, that's okay, because the game has many others you can. I'm sorry if my camera keeps going in and out of focus, but we're just gonna roll with it. So we also got the awesome Axolotl, because he loves Axolotl. So he's going to play that faction whilst I do the others. And we also got the Wild Tide Corsairs, which is a bunch of pirate animals. You've got a tortoise there, a fox, a rat, and a I think that's is that a red bear? I think what that's called, but anyway, yes, those cute little Japanese bears, I think called. But yeah, so we've got 4 factions for this game, and it is essentially, as it says, it's a battle royale game. It is fighting across quite a small area, but there's capture the flag, there's kill your enemy, there's get points, there's some nice combat tricks in there, there's even magic, so one of your characters is always a mage, and they've got both buffing spells, but also damaging spells, saving spells, stuff like that. And we thought that was quite fun, and he instantly sort of gravitated to it. So I'm looking for that, like, okay, great, let's give this a go. It might be the first miniatures he ever paints. I'll have a go at all the others, and we'll have some fun. They also did do, the starter set comes with a cardboard paper mat. It's very flimsy, not great. Did also do, which I'm sorry for the sound effects here, does come in a French sticker pack. But they did also do a mat. We got the mat as well to go in there, and yeah, it was pretty cool. So yeah, that's pretty much all of the pickups. I was very surprised we didn't pick up a bunch of other things. Quite tame in what we were doing, and yeah, we obviously just off the back of Adepticon didn't need to feel the need to buy a whole load of other bits and pieces. As you can see, my son has just walked in. He's eager to play a game, so maybe that's what we're about to go and do. And I will see you on the next video. All right? Here's all. Bye-bye.